I sat there and I was looking at my channel and I was wondering, what am I missing? There is something that I'm missing that I know that I haven't done. It's in the back of my mind and I just can't remember. Until it dawned on me exactly what that thing was. I haven't made a proper top 10 list. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Yes, welcome to my top 10 list. I am happy to finally be making this. I'm happy to actually sit down and actually do it. I've actually been having to do it for like a year now, but I just haven't. Making a top 10 list is hard, especially when you're starting out with making like a top 10 list of like your favorite anime of all time. That especially is hard to me, especially since right now I'm in the middle of just kind of like switching kind of like the top 5 and picking between all of them. But I've made my list, I've made my decisions, and I am here to share them with you today. Now, I usually don't have any rules for the top 10. I mean, I do have rules, but for this one in particular, it's not going to be literally any rules. It's literally going to be my personal top 5 anime of all time. So the rules is just, I pick an anime that I like. But I do also want to preface it with this, that in no way am I saying that this is fact, or if I'm saying that this is my, what I think to be the definitive best anime of all time. Obviously, people have different tastes. People have different feelings towards stuff. What I might find in my top 10, you might think is one of the worst animes of all time. And if you do, I'm gonna break your fucking legs. But no, seriously, I do at least want to say this, that if you genuinely, don't take my opinions too seriously, this is my own personal list, so I'm not stating any of these as fact. This is what I think is a really, really good anime. This is what I think is my personal best. Also, I just wanted to share this really cool shirt. I know you can't see it, but one of the besties got it for me. It's a really cool shirt. I like it a lot. It's a good. So if she's watching this, thank you, bestie. I love you. You're a kitty. But starting with our list, going from 10 to 1. Number 10 is going to be Yuri on Ice. Now, you're gonna hear me say this a lot about all the anime, so there's gonna be a very lot of repeating. But obviously, it's good animation, good music. The music in Yuri on Ice, so good, so bumping. I fucking love it. The opening. First of all, let's talk about the opening for Yuri on Ice. The opening for Yuri on Ice is such a perfect melody of just beauty and magic and wisdom, and the art for it too is phenomenal. It's one of those songs you can just play over and over again and it never gets boring. That's how good the song and the OP for Yuri on Ice is. But not only that, it genuinely tells a really interesting story on, having a dream that you really want to get at and not being able to achieve it, but never giving up on your dream and doing what you can in order to strive for that dream. But it also gives the twist of, hey, sometimes you don't always reach your dreams. You don't always get to the very, very top of where you want to be. But you know what? You worked hard for where you got at. You worked hard for where you strive to be, and you should be happy at the progress, even if you didn't make it. And I think that's a good message, because I think a lot of us do really put ourselves down when we don't make it to the very top of what we want to achieve. But we don't acknowledge all the hard work and the dedication that we put to even being where we are in our lives or in our goals. Right there. Sure, it's not the top. Everyone wants to be at the top, and you can call it a loser mentality, but it gives a nice little spin of just like, what? I gained a lot of things getting here. I gained confidence. I gained a better talent. I gained a love. I gained all of this. Even though I'm not at the top, I'm very, very happy at where I am right now, and I'm very happy at what I was able to achieve trying to get to that goal. And I think that's a very, very important message to put. I cannot also not talk about this show without talking about probably one of my favorite love duos, Yuri and Victor. That gay love, man. That is pure love right there. I appreciate it. It's love. It's great. The whole dynamic is good. I don't even want to give anything away. Just watch Yuri on Ice and you understand. I'm not even the biggest fan when it comes to the Yuri or yaoi romance and stuff like that. Not because of anything just romances in general. Straight gay. don't hit me very well because whatever, I'm not a big romance guy. But Victor and Yuri, oh, their love, it's like a fine wine that's been aged, and I want every last drop of it. Now, number 9 on the list is going to be Beastars. Now, I know what you're saying, right? Number 9 on my list is Beastars.
Listen, I'm not a fucking furry. I want to make that very fucking clear. I am not a fucking furry. Okay? I just like the show. I ain't a furry. So the real furries, you know? So you don't hurt anybody, I don't care. I'm just personally not a furry. I just want to point that out.
But yeah, if you can get past, the whole them being anthropomorphic animals and whatnot, honestly, this show has, personally, in my opinion, one of the best breakdowns of society that I have ever seen in anime do. Like, they use animals to show the different disparities between the weak and the strong. They use like the animals and the different species of animals within those classes to show like hierarchies and differences and like the burden of trying to climb the ladder from being a weak person to a strong person. In this case, a weak animal to a strong animal. It shows the weird way that society views you if you go out of those classes, where Haru and Legoshi, how they act. Another one of my kind of favorite couples in anime right now. Like, it does so many things so amazing, and it's so reflective of our own society that you can literally apply it to so many things nowadays, and it's honestly crazy. It's a really good breakdown on just like how a society is, how some people can abuse it, how some people can get caught up in it, how some people can get torn down by it, and how some people can really get built by it in both positive and negative ways. Season 2 is currently starting, and while I wish I could watch it, I am in America, so I do have to wait for it. I'm not doing an ad for a VPN, I promise you. I just suck and I have to wait. But when I do get to that season 2, it's going to be so amazing. And while y'all are waiting, my American fellows, I do recommend that you watch that, because oh my god, it is such a good show. It is worth the watch. It is worth the attempt. It is a beautiful show. Good show. 10 out of 10. Now, it was really hard for me to put it this low on the top 10, but the fact that it's still in my top 10 just shows you how good this show is, and that's going to be Cowboy Bebop. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be on hands. I get it. I understand a lot of people are going to be on hands. Or you put Cowboy Bebop at 8? What the fuck is wrong with you? It should be like 3 or 2. Listen to me. Okay, it was hard for me to make this decision, but I have to admit that there are just a lot of anime that have come out since Cowboy Bebop that it can't compare. But I will also stand with Cowboy Bebop is a fucking classic. It was one of the best animes It is one of the best animes to stand the test of time. I swear to God, I went back to watch that, and it still holds off, if not better, with age. It literally, back to the whole comparison with Yuri Victor, it is literally a fine aged wine. It just gets better with age. Like, the character Spike is compelling. That whole crew is amazing. The world of space and being an outlaw and a bounty hunter is so intriguing. The whole dynamic of everything is so, oh my god, I love it. Everything about it is great. Now, my reasoning for not putting it up in like a top 5 or a top 3, when I went back to watching, I don't remember the story being as much as a slog as it was, and unfortunately that kind of brought me down. Now, it could just be the new pace that new gen anime goes at, where they go pretty fast in a lot of regards. So for something a little bit more slow, meticulous as Cowboy Bebop, it was a little different, but it also felt like it kind of was fumbling in the beginning till it can actually find the route and the groove it was looking for. That's at least how I felt with Cowboy Bebop first, coming onto the scene like that. But it still holds up. It's still a great anime, and you know what? I don't think it's leaving my top 10 any soon, unless like 3 more really banging fucking shows come out, and even then there's still 3 more shows that that could get potentially kicked out. So I mean, Cowboy Bebop, hey, I know you can get mad at me, not top 5, not top 3, but you know what? It's still a damn good show that I would recommend any anime user or any anime watcher go watch. Number 7 out of my top 10 is going to be Made in Abyss. And Made in Abyss, that's another world that just knows how to make a beautiful, elegant world. Not just in world building and making this whole elaborate thing, but just the designs of that world. My God, they're sexy. Like the overworld, the underworld, the tunnels, the plants, the animals, even the characters and the character designs and the monsters, they all look so beautiful. It just makes me, I want to live there, but I don't because it's dangerous. And I will also say that reading into the manga, I do understand some people's regards in terms of the, well, very certain indecent scenes that do happen in those, or the connotations of certain inappropriate acts between certain younger individuals. And I do like how the anime does not do that, because wow, we'd be having a whole other problem now, would we? Like, to say it would ruin the beauty that this show has tried to create for us. And you cannot appreciate, like, this is how you do an anime adaptation, is that you take whatever makes the manga not that great and you try to fix it within the anime. And I think that, in my opinion, is just one of the greatest things. I go as far as say it's one of the best anime adaptations of a manga nearly ever. Like, that is how you do it on point. And for them to be able to take out the context of that and transfer it so well into anime, good. That team's amazing. That team knows exactly what it's doing, and it knows how to do it in a very meticulous and very precise manner, and I appreciate about that team so much. Other than that, usual shit. Music, phenomenal. Art, phenomenal. Everything about it, phenomenal. It's great. It's amazing. It's good. It's fucking... Number 6 on my list of top 10 of my favorite top 10 animes is going to be Violet Evergarden, another beautiful, great, amazing, well-designed show. Now, the lore of Violet Evergarden, or at least the overall world building, isn't as great as it is, but it's brought with great character development from all sides, from like not important characters just having the one moment of shine in order to develop just a tiny bit, just to give Violet Evergarden her little aspect of the world that she needs, to Violet Evergarden herself trying to go through the world after the war, trying to figure out herself and how this crazy world works, trying just to understand like the feelings and the reactions and the emotions of just everyone she tries to meet, and in the process it is a great, just inspirational, heartwarming story. I almost cried at it. It almost hurt. It was great. It was amazing. It was good. It was good. Violet Evergarden is a great show. It's great. It's in so many ways. That's a show I definitely would not want to spoil. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna try to not spoil most of the shows in this. So you're probably just gonna get just the ums and uhs from most of this series. I should have said that before, but my apologies. But yeah, man, Violet Evergarden. It's a show that really brings like the aspect of character building to just a whole other level, and does it in just so many facets in multiple ways, and it just knows how to dish out those story and plot points at good timings, in good points of the story, in points where it matters, and in a pacing that's good and digestible for the watcher. It is God, it's a great show. Number 5. I promise I can count. I know this isn't 5, I promise. At number 5 of my top 10 favorite animes, we have Your Lie in April, one of the only shows to legitimately make me fucking cry. Now, I will say this, the story is really good. It is a beautiful, heartwarming story about someone finding their passion through what they love all over again. But it's a little bit more personal because it features a lot of music, and the whole show is just rotates around the idea of music and finding your music and to actually go ahead and perform. Now, obviously, I resonate with that a lot. I make music not only in my stupid little me rap, but I used to play the clarinet. I was used to be in band. I understand the feeling of wanting to go back up and just perform again and play those instruments. It's a feeling that if you are someone who plays an instrument or someone who has made music and someone who's just kind of lost touch with that, this hits hard. It hits hard with you. So if anybody out there who's watching this, if you are a musician, you're gonna want to watch this show. And if you're just a romantic, you're gonna want to watch the show. If you're an anime fan, you're just gonna watch the show. If you heard of the show and you don't know what the show is, watch the show, because you will cry, you will feel emotion, and you will feel pains that I felt when I was watching the show. Just think about it, it makes me tears up already, because it's just a great show. At the number 4, we have Death Note, another pretty old anime that still stands the test of time. I know it came out in the 2000s, but hey, we're like in 2021 now, so that compared to that is fucking ancient at this point. But then Death Note still has one of the best character developments of all time, with Light and L and their whole dynamic. That character dynamic was amazing. The world around them and building was fantastic. Building Light, I didn't realize this when I was younger, but watching it again recently within the last couple of years made me realize just like how well and how careful they built Light as a character. Because working on another video that I plan on making, I promise I plan on making the video, it kind of dawned on me that Light is kind of, should I say, a very responsibly made villain, because he's somebody who we see as someone who is definitely taking vengeance on all the people who have done wrong in the world, right? He's attacking criminals, he's attacking anybody that stands in his way of trying to achieve a world where there are no bad people. But it also shows the light that while yes, he is targeting bad people, now he does target non-bad people later in the show, which is not good, but at least in that beginning, it is really good to see that while what he's doing could be perceived as good by some people, and even in the show, they do see that since he is, getting rid of criminals. At the same time, it does bring up the morality to show that even though he is doing that, the morality system in that world, and the morality system within the writers themselves, do not see Light in that way. What he is still doing is still a morally wrong thing. While he may be removing a bad person of the world, he is not someone who should be deciding that. And just thinking about that deeper and thinking, I don't even know if that's how they met, if that's what they were going for, but my God, it is just really good to depict somebody like Light as someone that you can acknowledge both might be doing something that could be perceived as good, but if you apply your moral system, it could be morally wrong. It's just great. It's just great how that was the whole thing was just made, and I just appreciate it. At number 3, we have Demon Slayer, and need I say more? First of all, Nezuko-chan should not be looted, because she is precious. She should be protected at all times. When I see anybody looting Nezuko, I'm gonna hit you upside the head. I'm gonna hit you upside the head. But while it does have a weak start in the beginning, Demon Slayer does prove to be a very strong narrative story. Not only that, but the fucking animation of the show is great. And it does create not only very funny, but also some very compelling characters. I know Demon Slayer gets, the back and forth of people hype up Demon Slayer, stuff like that. But it is genuinely a really good show. And it's one of the best shonen of all time. It's one of the reasons why I am very, very happy that people are acknowledging Demon Slayer as a big 3, as part of the new generation of the big 3, because that's the quality we should be striving for that big 3. We should be striving for Demon Slayer quality in terms of animation, character development, world building, story, character dynamics, magic systems. Literally everything of Demon Slayer is just great. and it's like hard to find a flaw. At least with the first season, I had read through the manga. I have my issues with the manga. I may make a video on it later, but like right now, that show is just it's popping. It's popping right now, and I personally really like that. I think Demon Slayer brings a really nice new element and taste to the shonen genre that hopefully more people will look at that and they'll be like, hey, we gotta get to that. Shit. I apologize for that. I didn't realize my alarm was on. I'm recording this very early in the morning. I am deeply sorry. But yeah, I do think a lot of shonen should get to that same level as Demon Slayer has gotten, because that show has proven to be just a game changer with that. Like, I know a lot of people look at it, it doesn't look differently, but it's about the consistency, it's about the quality. Like, you can still do the same thing that shonen does with the tropes, with the jokes, and everything like that, but still have a consistent show with a magic system that works, with great characters that do great things. You don't have to just bullshit things in just because it's a shonen, and Demon Slayer doesn't do that. I think that's the issue that I have with certain people who just look at it and are just like, oh, well, it's not that great. You see this? It's like, yeah, it is. And at the same time, just because you enjoy one thing more does not mean that that other thing means that it's better. It just means that you enjoy it more. The quality could still be different, but just because you enjoy something does not mean that it cannot be bad. You can enjoy bad things. The biggest example that I can think of is The Room. People fucking hate The Room, right? People would never say The Room is a good movie, but people watch it. People enjoy it. People enjoy The Room. People go to Tommy Wiseau to get his stuff signed. Why? Because they enjoy the movie. They don't think it's a great movie, but they enjoy the movie. They think it's bad, though. You can enjoy bad things and still have them be bad. And I don't think Demon Slayer is that. I think Demon Slayer is a good thing that can be enjoyed. Now, if you don't like it, that's fine. That's your preference. You're not going to like it. But to say that it's bad because you don't like it, that just doesn't make sense. Now, I am not saying that you have to like it. Obviously, that's your opinion. If you don't think that's great, then that's fine. But I'm just saying, let's be a little bit more subjective and a little bit more objective here. I know what I said before, and I know I'm kind of being an asshole now, but I promise you I'm not being an asshole. Like what you want, just be truthful and be honest about it. At number 2 of my top 10 anime of my favorites is Code Geass. Now, I don't understand why this took so long for me to watch. Code Geass is a phenomenal show. Lelouch is a great character. Not only a great character in terms of his personality and his morality system, but over the fact that that man can take a power as simple as the Geass, to have him do anything, to have someone do anything he wants one time, and once the Geass is over, he can't do them or it can't affect him anymore, and just go to the fucking moon with it. Like, yes, you can control people and all that stuff, but you do not understand how much that man has brought that power. Like, most people would never ever think of ever taking that power to that length, but Lelouch, yes, he does. Not to mention the world behind that with the Black Knights. Now, Britannia work is the world building is great. It gets a little crazy in the middle, like towards the middle end, when they're like doing this shit, but overall, it's fucking great. It's a good show. It's a great show, and it does so many fucking great things with it. With the story, with the plot, with Lelouch, with everything like that. It's great, and you all should watch it because it's good. And last but not least, we have my number 1 on my top 10 favorite animes, and that one is going to be Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Why? You know how I went down the list of saying things of, certain things of like all these animes and stuff like that. Yeah, just like literally take this video and that's Fullmetal Alchemist. That, like, literally take everything I've said from this and that's that. Yeah. I mean, when I look at Fullmetal Alchemist, I just think of like kind of like the pinnacle of anime stuff. Like it is great. It is amazing. It is so fucking fantastic and great. Like, it does everything that all the anime do, but just right. It just hits almost every single thing on the money, and it's almost impossible to imagine it do something like that. Like, it does the social commentary with the Isvalin and the way that the state treats them. It does the whole relationship good thing with Mustang and Hawkeye. It does great world building with the whole world and how it reacts with the Philosopher's Sword and alchemy. The alchemy is a great magic system. The fucking story is fucking banging. The music is fucking banging. The animation is fucking banging. Like, I can go on and on and on and on about how great Fullmetal Alchemist is. I've watched that shit 7 times over, and I can tell you goddamn well that show is great. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna leave it at this. Take the whole video and use that as your description for Fullmetal Alchemist, because that is legitimately how I feel about that show. Anyways, thanks so much, guys, for watching this video. That is the top 10 of my favorite animes. I'm actually glad that I finally got to do this. It has been a long time coming to actually make this list, and I finally just said, fuck it, let's just go and let's just do it. I wanted to make it in my typical, like, essay format and actually write down and have a script on that, but it would have gone forever if I did that, so I just made a couple of bullet points, try to do that, and that's what I came up with. This is what I came up with, so I hope that you guys enjoyed this in the way that I think I could probably best keep it in like under an hour. If you want to check out my social media, my music, the podcast that I work, anything that I do, everything will be in the description down below. And remember, I also have a podcast channel with my buddy Alex that we have called Dweebs and Weebs. We have the podcast, you probably know about it, and we made a separate channel for that. We're on Spotify, we're on anywhere you get your podcasts, so please check us out and show us some support. My name has been Mise. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will try to make more of these top 10s, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.